This is the SID Star and ILS Vectors tutorial, right? We're going to do a tutorial from Denver to JFK, JetBlue 98, right? We're going to follow the ME's 5 SID today because this is the route they used today. I did do it up, right? So we're going to follow the ME's 5 SID and the Lendy 6 Star with the runway 8 departure. And go just show you quick in real life in Denver. Eastbound flights, such as this one from Denver to IAD, eastbound flights are taken off from runway 8. There's runway 8, and off he goes. And you'll actually notice that's an A320neo right there with the CFM LEAP engines. Ooh, it's a woodpecker. Weston the woodpecker. These LEAP and Pratt & Whitney geared turbofans are absolutely enormous. You get an idea of what it looks like compared to previous A320 engines. The Neos are great, and as you can see, the codes are A20N, right, for a Neo. So we're going to go from the A gates, gate A35, which is just about on the opposite side here of the Frontier 977 or 777. If you notice, we're going to taxi out of the A gates, and we'll go on the outer runway, taxiway. That's this one on the outside here, straight up to the hold line for runway 8. As you can see, this guy's coming into Denver from Cleveland, or Cincinnati rather, and he's using the inside taxiways. Inners and outers, that's usually how it works. So we're going to take off runway 8, and we're going to be following the SID. And let's talk about the SIDs and stars. In Denver, there's mountains, or right there, and you're already 5,000 feet in the air, basically. So let's go see. We're going to follow the ME's 5 departure today. Let me get out my handy-dandy highlighter, right, our marker. So we're going to take off runway 8 on a heading of 083 till we hit 5,934 feet. Now, Denver, I believe, is, Denver's 5,000 feet in the air anyways, right? So, oops, get rid of that. I don't know if it has the altitude of the field here. No, it doesn't have the altitude of the field, but Denver's about 5,000 something feet anyways. So our takeoff route will be 083, 5,934 or above, and we'll proceed on to tight, and we need to be 10,000 or below, right? And then proceed to Han, that's 12,000 or below, right? Then we get out to gas, which is 14,000 or above. Then we cut out 077 to Sniper, Emmys, Zirkle, flight plan filed route. Right? Now, if I get rid of this and go to page 2, you'll see here at the top, right here, take off runway 8, climb heading 083 to 5934, then cross tight, then direct to cross tight at or below 10,000, then on track 082 to cross Han at or below 12,000, then on track 082 to cross gas at or above 14,000, then on track 077 to Sniper, then on track 077 to Emmys, Vents, flight plan filed route. Alright, should say down the bottom here. On depicted route to Zirkle. Maintain flight level 230 or filed lower altitude, expect higher altitude 10 minutes after departure. If you notice here, there's a lot going on in this, right? RNAV, turbojets only, right? Radar required. Accelerate to at or above 250, above 10,000. Right? If slower speed is required to meet crossing restrictions, advise clearance delivery prior to taxi. We should have no problem making 250 or above after 10,000. And the top altitude on this SID is flight level 230 or 23,000 feet. Okay, there's some obstacle notes here, minimums, right? So we want minimums from runway 8. Standard with minimum climb of 400 feet per nautical mile to 5,934, then a minimum climb of 260 feet per nautical mile to 14,000. And that shouldn't do us any problems at all, not in the A320. So, let me just go on ahead and pop into infinite flight. I'm just going to copy out the route here. And we've been working on vectors coming into JFK on the different stars. Pop into infinite flight. I'm not going to fly just yet. I'm just going to talk about the SIDs and stars for a minute. I'm even going to just go in and go ahead and fly solo. Okay, I want gate seat A35. Right, okay, okay. Right. All right. So here we are. I'm going to go on ahead and we're just going to talk about the route. Paste that on in there, right? So, as we talked, right? And we come off runway 8 and we're going to climb to 5,000 something feet. 5,000, sure, I can tell you. 5,000, is it 5940? 5934, right? So we'll climb on up 5,934 feet, right? Then we'll cross tight at or below 10,000. Han at or below 14,000, I believe, or 12,000, right? Keep on trucking. Gas at or below 14,000. I'm sorry, at or above. What is it? Yep, at or above. When the line is below, as it is here in gas, right? When the line is below, like gas here, that means at or above, right? When the number is above. When the line is above the number, it's at or below 12,000, right? Okay, clear that off. All right, and then we will keep on trucking to Zirkle, and then on our flight plan route, the next waypoint is the MCK VOR. All right, and then here's our flight plan route. Now let's talk about the star, right? We're going to fly the Lendy 6 star today with simulated vectors in infinite flight to the ILS 31 right. So the Lendy 6 star starts at Wilkes-Barre, or LVZ. Let me get my handy dandy highlighter here. So we start at Wilkes-Barre, VOR, right? We fly to Geno. Expect flight level 230, and you see there's two lines there, right? The two lines mean at, right? Keep tracking to Hardy, then to Stillwater VOR, and we track into Lendy, right? Vertical navigation planning. Expect flight level 190 and 250 knots, right? Then we're going to simulate the vectors, right? So let's talk about those vectors, okay? So Jordan, Sean, and I have come up with vectors for the ILS based off of real-world flight plans that fly into the different runways. For instance, here's Hawaiian Flight 50, which I've had the privilege to fly a few times. And I've landed on 3-1 right the first time and 2-2 the second time. So, is this today? There it is. So let's play this back. When you play this back, ooh, he went way to the north because of the wind. Okay, so you'll notice, all right, I'll bring him into view here. So he starts his descent somewhere right about here, right? Thought I had the hybrid map on, but I guess not. So he starts his descent, right? Comes on down, right? And then remember, 19,250 for Lendy, right? Now Lendy is just to the northwest of Teterboro, right? So, I hate the playback speed, right? 23,000, and they gave him a descent right out of 19,000. So Lendy is just about here. It's just to the northwest of Teterboro Airport. So it looks like he just barely made it to Lendy. Lendy would be right there, just about, right? Roughly, okay? So 19,000 at Lendy, and it looks like they started vectoring him. And this is what they do. They vector you down, down past Manhattan, right? If anybody would like to see the video, I'll gladly send it to you of me on this flight. They vector you down over Manhattan, past Kennedy, right? and you're still dropping. When you fly over Kennedy, you're about 16,000 to 10,000, right? And then you keep on trucking right on around for runway 31 right? So with that being said, let's go on back into the sim, right? So I'm going to plan at Lendy to be at 19,000, right? So we've got the simulated vectors here where we come into Lendy, we'll be at 19,000, and we simulate ATC giving us a track south, right? Manhattan is basically in between Symbol and Goldman, right? So the island of Manhattan is basically running straight down in between the LaGuardia rings. It's basically this direction, right? So you're going to fly and descend over Manhattan. The map's not really to scale, but it is what it is. So we're going to come on down and around and vector on in. Now, if you look at that in flight radar one more time, we'll just take another peek see here. All right, take another peek see. And the reason we're using 3-1, the reason I'm using Hawaiian 50 is I know that this flies into Kennedy every day. Now, here's a day where it looks like they vectored them out and around for spacing. So that's pretty interesting. That's for spacing, right? Let's try, that was canceled because of the storm. Let's try this one. The winds have been pretty much northwests for 3-1, right? There we go. That looks better, right? Again, there's Teterboro. They curve them just to the south of Teterboro Airport, right over the tip of Manhattan, right? So we cut off before LaGuardia. Technically, the star continues from Lendy to LaGuardia VOR, which is here, right? If you look at this, and then look at this, that's pretty accurate for infinite flight, right? And you're going to want to be about 3,000 at Covere. I'm sorry, 3,000 for KTOD, right? So let's talk about the ILS. All right, looks like they sent him to, looks like they sent him to 3,000. Just roughly 3,000, right? So be descending and plan on being, right? Let's go have a look at the star chart. The ILS chart. So you want to plan to be, there's a lot going on this ILS chart. Why can't I mark this up now? So I can't mark this up. But you want to be at 3,000 for KTOD and Maldi, right? 3,000 or above, right? And then at Zulab, you want to be at 1,900 or above, right? You're going to follow the ILS on down, right? And then the important thing on this is the minimum sector altitude, 25 miles of JFK VOR, right, is 2,900 feet to the northwest, and then 2,000 feet all the way else around, right? And you see a 672-foot building here, 441 plus or minus, 604. But we're in infinite flight, so we don't have to worry about scenery. But this is how it works, right? Got all the frequencies at the top. Simultaneous approach is authorized. And then it gives us instructions, right? Climb to 1,000. Climbing left turn to 4,000 feet, direct Canarsie. Then on the Canarsie 225 to the Colts Neck VOR DME, which is down this way. This is your missed approach, right? And Colts Neck is just off to the south in New Jersey there. And you can see it, the missed approach fix, right? Or MAVFA, right? And you hold at Colts Neck, right? And then they'll vector you on in. So let's see, what else? Runway landing length available is 8,486. Touchdown zone elevation is 12. Airport elevation is 13. Approach course is 315. Frequencies. So straight ahead to 1,000. Left turn to 4,000. Canarsie 225 to Coaldale. Colts Neck rather, right? And then down here gives you an idea from the final approach fixed to the missed approach point, which is this here, right? Your minimums. If you were doing 150 knots, 2 minutes 17 seconds at 150 knots, and it's 5.7 miles. Let's see. So the minimums right, for the ILS, right, 212 and 18 feet. I forget what that /18 means. So 200 feet minimums, right? So that being said, let's jump into the aircraft and let's do some flying.